What's up, everybody? It's Circus. So I'm going to be doing my episode 6 spoiler review of Task. It is absolutely hands down the best show on television. HBO found a gem with this, but the problem here is it's a miniseries. Now, so many people have liked it that they want a season 2, and I don't know how season 2 is going. I don't know. Maybe it might be able to do something. But so this is the penultimate episode. It's 7 and they're longer episodes, but it's a 7 show series. So next week it all comes to an end. So, but it basically starts off with Robbie and Tom. You know how last episode ended. It starts off like right there. So it seems like they filmed to yeah. But so we're at the cabin. There's certain parts in this when I got like so pissed because like it's the little things, man. But so we know that the Dark Hearts are going there because they're coming after Robbie because they find out where the drop is. And you're like, oh damn. So they're sitting there, and then you know what the two things, Perry and Jason from the Dark Hearts, are meant for each other. You want to know why? Because they're both fuck ups. They can't handle their tempers. And I don't see how they're in charge of any faction of the Dark Hearts. Maybe that's why they said, yo, the mother faction basically told him, like, yo, Jason's gonna die regardless. And you may die if you don't get our shit back. So they're both under some pressure, but like he tries it. They see the two of them talking by the river, and then Jason with it, numbskull knucklehead just starts shooting. So then the gunfight breaks out. So we got all the agents are hearing it, and you know what? I'll give it up to Lizzie. Lizzie was holding it down. I didn't like her in the beginning, but she started to grow on me around episode 3, and she was a gem in the show. She really was a good-hearted person. Now I'll get into that in a second, which tragic. We have some tragic deaths in this episode, as we knew were coming. I didn't know it was going to be like certain ways. So we get all that. So now they're running together, and the Dark Hearts are chasing them. We got Kathleen, the chief or whatever, and what's her name? Kathleen. Aaliyah's the shit. All right. She's surgical. She's meant to be FBI. I hope she gets promoted to FBI after this, because remember, they're only task force. The only ones that are FBI are Tom Brandis and Kathleen, what's her name, McGinty or whatever. Yeah, they're the only ones that are actually FBI. They use other, that's why it's the task force. So I think that they're going to bring her on board, because she is like, she's well, they say company man, but company woman. You know what I mean? So we get all that. We're getting the firefighter. Everybody's spread out. And then you got old snake in the grass, Sir Crispin Cole. Because we all know he's the rat. So he's trying to call him not to come. Don't come to the cabin. And he's got him FBI. And then it goes left field real fast. And there's a scene in there when him and Lizzie were running after the Dark Hearts, and she's like, freeze, freeze, freeze. And he kind of like shoots past her ear. I think he was doing everything to protect her, not to go forward so she doesn't get it. Because she even told the one guy, like, you don't touch her. All right? You don't touch her, when he ran into the one dark. And he said, oh, okay. And we get to see. So I don't know if he did that on purpose, trying to like disable her. But she still keeps trucking through it, can't hear, getting that ringing and stuff, and she's still holding it down. She gets the one guy, shoots Dark Hearts guy, and then she gets a phone call because Aaliyah and Kathleen gets shot, so she's down. We have where Robbie chases Tom into the cabin, and he says, "You're not gonna." Robbie said, "I love their relationship and everything, the two of them." I wish we had more screen time with them again. I hope they're in future movies together, because they have awesome on-screen chemistry. So we get them in the cabin, and he's like, dude, why'd you come back? I told you I had a plan. He's like, plan. He's like, stay here. Robbie runs out, and then Perry comes in. They get into a scuffle, and then Mark or Tom gets the upper hand and just leaves him on the floor. I'm like, you ain't got no cuffs on you, no nothing, dude. Like, this is one time I would have looked around and maybe shot that guy in both legs so he can't walk. He got to crawl. So it gives enough time. I'm just saying. He did try it. He did try and take your life. So you could say, hey, that was straight self-defense, homie. In both knees, sir? In both elbows? Yeah. Conveniently, he can't crawl, so. But anyway, so he just leaves and I'm like, God damn. So then Robbie's doing the whole thing with the bag and he throws it in the river. You want it? Here it is. Throws it in the river. Then old Jason, this dude, he is literally like Jason. Just runs him down. They get into a fight and it's a man-to-man fight. Fist to cuffs, no guns. You know what I mean? That's what you think. And this old bitch-ass boy brings out the blade because, I mean, Robbie was about to choke him to death, but yeah, can you blame him? He killed his brother. So he stabs him. And then Robbie and Perry get away. The two of them. I hope the Dark Hearts gets them, man. And I hope the FBI and everything just lets it happen. But I don't think it'll go that way. I think either way, Jason is going to die. Whether it's Dark Hearts or one, they now have all types of counts. They got murder, because then they killed. So she's getting a phone call. Lizzie's running, and what was she doing? Well, she was getting a bag. I forget what she was doing. She's getting the bag out of the trunk, and Robbie and him and Grasso is trying to get there to warn her, like, yo. They run old girl over. She's like dead instantly, and then Aaliyah comes up. That part was sad. That was one of the They had become like family. You know what I mean? Even though Grasso was a damn snake, but I think he's gonna have a little bit of turnaround because there's a scene in here where he's talking to. So anyway, before I get to that, so Robbie gets stabbed, and this is one of the things that made me really, really pissed. So he gets him in the car, the state trooper, whatever, or the patrolman picks him up. He's taking him to the hospital, and dude's driving like 30 miles an hour. Like, dude, this guy's back here bleeding. He's a like, we kind of need this guy to survive. And he's like, how? And even he has to tell him, he's like, can you like speed it up a little bit? I don't know why they didn't have it like an ambulance coming to meet them on the way. But anyway, apparently Robbie dies, but I'm still holding on hope that maybe they're putting him in the witness protection program or something like that, because we never saw the body after that, after he checked his pulse and he kind of had the dream sequence. But he's probably dead, but that'd be awesome if he wasn't. That'd be a little kicker at the end. So, and he promised with Maeve that he would protect Maeve. And he makes sure nothing would happen to her. Tom did Prentice, and I think he's going to go through that. So we get that whole thing, and then we basically get the little kids in a foster home, you know, the Dark Hearts, the property of the Dark Hearts, like they say. So they get him, and Tom goes in there and visits the orphanage he's at or whatever, and he says, nah, I'm going to take him. So this is a cool part that Sarah and Emily are finally getting along, Tom's kids. They're acting like sisters. They even have this one scene where Emily's like, you don't talk to her like that or whatever. And then he's like, oh, y'all team sister now? Oh, it's both y'all against dad. But it was kind of one of those smirks where like, oh, I like it. But then they say, we know what you're doing. We need you to be family now. We're all working to get back together, but we need you to stop the drinking and everything. And he kind of like shrugs it off and goes, I'm pretty sure that'll happen later in life. I don't know. But yeah, so we get that, and then so Lizzie's done. Oh, poor Lizzie. She held her own though. She was a hero. She held her own. She didn't freeze. She kept fighting through it. But so now we got so you get all that, and then Tom goes to talk to Chief McGinty or whatever, you know what I mean? Or is it Chief or what do they call him? So he's going to go talk to her. Then we have the scene with, what is it, Dorsey or whatever? I keep forgetting what he's from, what he has to do with the. There's a lot of characters in this, but he comes up to Grasso and he's like, "Dog, they killed Lizzie." He's like, "Well, that's unfortunate." He was like, "How much do they know?" And then he kind of like says, "Shake it off, bro. I'll get us out of this." No, you're not, because we find out when Tom and Kathleen or Chief McGinty or whatever, Special Agent McGinty, the head of their department. He's like, "Nah, really, what's going on?" They're like, "Yeah, we knew there was a rat in here or whatever. There was an informant inside, and we knew it was Grasso the whole time. He was there for this, that one. Didn't they name the one about the brother, I think? So he's involved in all them. And your ass still put that person on the team without telling Tom. You set this team up for failure. Because y'all were just trying to get enough evidence. You lost one state trooper. You lost Robbie, which could have turned into a great witness to everything. You got shot yourself. Others could have got killed. But you still put him on that team because y'all were trying to do some. And you know what? I like how Tom went to Aaliyah and said, "Hey." She was like, they took my badge, took all my stuff. And she was like, I like when she called out. She was like, the only reason why you be doing this, if you're investigating somebody internally in this task force. And the guy's just like, get your stuff, man. She's super smart. She is ready to be an agent, FBI. She need to go to CIA or even higher. But yeah, so he comes back and meets with her. It's like, yeah, we going to solve this without them or not. So we got to go a little rogue. And she ride or die. She down. She's like, all right, let's do it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, they only took their service weapons. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know. Come on, dude. Like, so we got that coming up. And then Jason and them, they find the bag, and the bag is full of books. That's why he was telling them, I have a plan, Tom. Let it work out. So the old girl, what is her name? Is it Shelly? No, is it Shelly? No, it's not Shelly. Well, the one that was the wife of the guy that was trying to rob Cliff and all that, she actually she stuck to her word. She said, "I'll do it because I'm a good person." So I don't know if she moved it, but she comes with a big bag of money to Maeve, and then she says it like, "I'm so sorry for your loss. We all got pulled into this." So I'm pretty sure she got her cut. She's going to disappear. She's going to be gone. So good for her. Get away from that. I don't know how she wound up with that filth of a dude. Because she seems like a kind-hearted person. So Maeve got this big bag of money. And from what I was looking up, so it all depends on where it's the spot and where it's at. So the minimum you're looking at 1.3 to 1.8. Maximum you're looking at is probably 3.6 to 3.8. Right? Whoever the buyer is. So I'm pretty sure she took her cut of $1 million. So I don't know how much Maeve's sitting on, but Maeve's sitting on over $1 million easily. Even if the old girl took her cut, which I'm sure she was allowed to do, because she didn't have to return that bag, and she brought it right to him. So now we got to go see about Maeve. I don't even know what's going on with that. So then he finds out. So since Tom found out, he goes and confronts Anthony, and there's this one part in here where it was like, I felt it from his side. He got too tied in. And he was like, nothing ever works. I mean, it doesn't matter. It seems like the bad guys get all the stuff, you know what I mean? He's like, you're a priest or whatever. Let me talk to you real quick. And he said, yeah. So you mean to tell me I could just go to church, do my All Fathers and my Hail Marys and everything's good? He's like, no, it's not. And then Tom kind of told him, like, he basically told him, like, hey, yeah, but the truth will set you free. This is eating you up, isn't it? He wouldn't fully tell him. Well, he kind of told him, but he said, I'm coming after you, Grasso. And he's like, then come. I think it was just a threat, but I don't know who that Chef Dorsey dude is. So he's involved in it. So I think Grasso might start ratting everybody out for some witness protection or something like that. It seems like he is going to be one of those, just start ratting people out and then get protection. I mean, technically, he hasn't killed anybody, so, but he's been involved in conspiracy this, tampering, all kinds of stuff. So this may be his only chance. So, I mean, basically, that's all we got going into the next one. But like, Harry and them find the bag. They see it's not in there. So, you know, they're going to try and go after Maeve because they know it's all tied together. And then Jason tells him about his wife. He was like, she never does that. She always comes home. And he keeps ignoring it. I think he has a feeling that something happened. So I don't know. But it seems like this next episode got to be an hour and 30 minutes. You got to make it like a mini movie. Kind of. Because you got to sum all this up. But now you didn't know it was that. I wish you would have done earlier screenings of it to people so they would applaud how good it was. So you would have had enough time to kind of bring them back, do some reshoots to change the ending so you could do more seasons with this crew. Or are you going to still have some of the crew, like Aaliyah and Tom and Catelyn? You know, I don't know. A lot of the crew is going to be gone because everybody's going to probably be going to jail dead or in this last episode. Now you're stuck like in between a rock and a hard place because people want more of this show. So I don't know what you're going to do, HBO. Didn't know you had a gem like this, but anyway, ready for the next episode. So tell me what you think. Tell me what your theories are. If you're watching TAS, if you're not watching TAS, start watching it. It's great. It's slow in the first 2 episodes. Kind of at the end, it speeds up in a lot of the episodes, but it's kind of slow. But once you get into it, it is a phenomenal show. It is the best show on television right now. But anyway, that's all I got for TAS. So like, comment, and subscribe. And I want everyone to subscribe. And I do mean everyone.